Good. Well, firstly, it's a good afternoon because we are alive and well and breathing and doing great things. And we will continue to do great things. But it is yet another topsy-turvy moment in our democracy. It's really quite disturbing. I keep saying every so often, I'll be like, we should all be concerned, we should all be concerned, we should all be disturbed, we should all be concerned. So, I bet you didn't know, excuse me, I bet you haven't realized the connection, I'm about to, jiggy jaga, jiggy jaga, jiggy jaga, jiggy all the way to Abuja, then go hear word, as my pidgin people would say. Them go hear word by force, by fire, by crook. That doesn't necessarily mean they are going to listen to us, but they will hear it. And that's what I always want you to remember. That when you think, oh, what's the point? You know, when I organized the Women's March, people always say to me, what's the point of protest? What's the point of rallies? What's the point of this? And I'll tell you what the point is. The same thing that I tell them. Every win comes in inches. Long-term wins comes in inches. Doesn't come in a big, massive, failed sweep. So, we have to continue to speak up. We have to continue to speak out. We have to continue to resist. What I now call, and I have been, like, literally something I started saying yesterday. If I wasn't such a lazy writer, I would do an article about it. I'm such a lazy writer. And I do like writing, but I'm just so lazy about it. I don't know. So it's something my sister gets upset with me. It's like, you write so well, you really need to write more. And when I do write, she's like, oh my God, why don't you just write more? And I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. Because writing is a jealous God. That's what they call it. Writing is a jealous God. Why? Because it's so time consuming. So here's the new word. 2 words. A new term. That's what it is actually. That's the correct way of saying it. A new term that I want you to add into your vocabulary, into your lexicon rather. I want you to add it into your conversation about Nigeria and the Nigeria that we are in. And I'm going to ask you to call me about it because that's what I want us to discuss. Nigeria is now under domestic colonization. That's the word. Those are the 2 words. Domestic colonization. I want you to think about that for a second. Domestic colonization. You know, when the colonizers came to Nigeria, well, to us back then, before Nigeria became, they changed the way we lived. They changed the way what we believe, the way we worship. They changed our relationship with each other. They changed our relationship, our intergender relationships. Yes, they did. They changed the way women were seen in our culture because they didn't respect women. They changed so much about us. They changed the way we read, the way we converse, the language we're speaking now. Just think about that. Think about the huge change that the influence, literal, overwhelming, sweeping, broad influence they had on us as a people. It was only because the River Niger allowed them to come through, but, you know, that's a whole different thing. Because, of course, River Niger allowed them to come through. Why? Many of them had tried to cross the River Niger, but they would die. Why would they die? Because of mosquitoes. And then they discovered quinine, and boom, bam, bala, bam, boom. They were able to travel across. So they changed everything about us. And then they formed the country called Nigeria, and Nigeria became theirs. Nigeria, by the way, it was for trade. It was an economic project. Everything else is the periphery. It was actually an economic project. So when I say domestic colonization, I'd like you to call me about that. If you understand it, if you don't understand what I mean, I'd like you to call me and ask me why I say that. Oh la la, what's going on? Something is happening. Some strange thing is now squaring in my ear and our ear. Anyway, that strange thing has gone away. If the gremlins want to try us today, they will not survive. I am fortified in the spirit of my ancestors. Yes, I tell you that for free. So you're going to need to call me on 020127709993. The female only line is 020146579190. And you can send WhatsApp on 0809-597-5805. We are streaming live on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. We are on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos. And of course, we're on Twitter. I still call it Twitter because I don't like that Elon Musk. So I don't really want to be, defaulting to whatever he says, although he now calls it X. Anyway, so why am I talking about domestic colonization? River State. Look at what has happened with River State. It doesn't matter whether you're on the side of Fubara. It doesn't matter whether you're on the side of Wike. It actually doesn't matter what side you're on. And you actually, technically, I would like to hope you are not on either side. I would like to hope that as a Danfo conversationer, as somebody that's been Danfoed, you are on the side of democracy and the side of our constitution. Which is why I want to discuss this. Our democracy and our constitution, and the way it has been abused, and the way our lives, because rivers concerns us all. Oh Lord, it does. Our lives have been changed and shaped, our navigation, our behavior, our activity, our conversation. The way it is being shaped by a minority. Yes, the domestic colonizers. You see where I'm going now? Are you with me? I hope you are, because this Danfo, it's fearless. You see, the other week I talked about patriarchy. Domestic colonization and patriarchy are actually very much aligned. Why do I say that? We need to change our conversation. We really need to change the narratives. We need to pivot our mindset, our education, our intelligence, so we can really challenge these people. Why do I say patriarchy and domestic colonization are two sides of the same coin, or at least they're birthed? Patriarchy birthed domestic colonization. We're seeing. Why do I say that? Because here's how patriarchy works. Patriarchy keeps power in the hands of the minority, the elite few. So you see, when I say patriarchy, I keep saying, and I will remind you, it is not a gendered word. No. I am not talking about just men. Patriarchy is a structure. It's a structure that keeps power in the hands of the few, the minority, in order to limit and control and thieve and take away from, discriminate against the majority, which is you, me, our husbands, our brothers, our sons, our daughters. You see, patriarchy is the one that tells a woman you can't be because da 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 da. Add to it whatever you want. Patriarchy is the one that tells your father, your son, you can't get that job either because da ba da ba da. Patriarchy is the one that will force you to have to know somebody in order for your son or daughter to get the job that he or she is perfectly qualified for, has the skills and experience to do, and the competence to carry it further. Are you with me? Are you with me? Do not lose me on this train. So now we get on to Natasha Akpoti. Do you see the lines? Can you draw? You've got to get to a place where you start to draw the lines. The patterns are emerging. So when we do a march against patriarchy, it is not just a march for women. It is a march to save our society and to take back our society. Now it's our constitution. Now it is our laws. Now it's our democracy. Now it's our institutions. Now it's our democratic practices. We need to take it back from the domestic colonizers, people. Yes, I'm on a soapbox right now. See, this is what I would have written if I had been bothered to write, if I wasn't so lazy. So you're getting it directly from me. Do you see? And then you add on Ray, whatever her name is. Not a first video, that second video where the NYC woman is threatening her. Notice I said patriarchy. Remember, it's not a gendered word because there are female and there are male. The females, we call them patriarchal gatekeepers, like that woman from NYC. She's a patriarchal gatekeeper. No doubt nobody sent her. I'm pretty sure nobody sent her on that work. But because she felt she had to protect. She had to protect the powers that be, the powers that abuse, the powers that steal, the powers that actually debilitate, the power that prevent a universal progress of every Nigerian, the powers that silence voices. Because she felt she had to do that. What does she do? She makes that call. You know why? Because she's a patriarchal gatekeeper, or PP for short, patriarchal princess. That's what Ireti Bakare is. That's what Florence Itagiwa is. That's what Olujimi and the rest of them, even the two that kept quiet. Do you see how it works now? You see, domestic colonization was birthed by patriarchy. Patriarchy is where power is contained and rotated and shared and distributed amongst the minor few, the minority. So therefore, taken away from us, the majority, the ordinary people of Nigeria, those of us who work hard, who strive hard, who work hard to send our children to school. To those children that you send to school, who do their best to get the best grades, and then they still don't get the job. They don't get the job because their father doesn't belong to the cult of patriarchy. So, therefore, they've got to do whatever it takes to get in for the structure to allow them. Are you with me? Do you see the pattern? And it's sinister. Yes, I'm going to use the word sinister. It is incredibly concerning. It keeps me up at night these days. Because I want us to take hold of these two words, domestic colonization, and begin to throw it at them. It's no longer about the Oyinbo colonization. It's about the colonization of our society. by a minority whose intention is sinister and excludes us all. Call me, let's talk. 0201 277 0993 0201 465 7190. How long have I got to the break? I've still got 3 minutes before I go on break. And what have I got here? Nigerians. Here we go, Janiki. No doubt Nigerians are held hostage by a few mongers, but let's not bother to about Confucianists and bootlickers who have in the entire political space. We have in the entire political space, because the minutes and seconds are counting. They can't stop my happiness with all the situation that is created by the greed. Hold on, let me just read this before we answer that call. Hold on, keep calling my happiness with all the situation that is created by the greed of the political players and their supporters is that when the chips are down, no one will be spared. This includes those of us hired to aid and abate the obvious chaos by even accepting little peanuts to call every radio and TV stations to do the worst form of propaganda. We must remind ourselves, Steve Ofere says, that the Rwandan bloody war started with mere propaganda on radio stations. Let us be ready for the doomsday we are using our hands to cause. I'd like to hear a bit more about that, Steve, because I think you're avoiding going straight to the point. I've got 1 minute. If you can talk in 1 minute, let's talk. Hello.
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 Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Charles from Ojo.
Go ahead, Charles. You have a minute, quickly, before we go on break.
Yes, what we are going through now, the people that are responsible for it are those people that took over from Abacha. Nigerians thought that Tinubu is responsible. Tinubu is not responsible. The people that took over from Abacha and his brother, the one that is popularly known as number 10 shirt of Nigeria, is now playing midfield defense. So, two of them, those two brothers are responsible. Even other leaders, Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan, and Tinubu, all those ones are just like tools in their hands. So the best thing now is that Nigerians are supposed to come out in mass and disagree with this rubbish and regain their country. Unfortunately, those people they have aligned themselves with the UK, US, France. Are you getting me?
I'm listening. You have 30 seconds. The people that are
backing them. Nigerians should look downwards. It's not about Tinubu. It's not about Buhari. It's not about Jonathan. It's not about Obasanjo. Not even Atiku. The people that are responsible for this thing, they are the ones now. They took over and they determine who leads.
Thank you very much. God bless
Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. Yes. Thank you. Let's talk.
Into your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This year, we're talking about patronage from many different aspects. It's not just giving artists money. It can be helping an artist have an exhibition, giving them exposure, connecting them to the right gallery, the right representative, the right person, giving them studio space to produce, giving them some training, whether it's business training, legal advice. There are so many ways in which you can be a patron of the arts.
Plus 234 Art Fair 2025 holds from March 27th to 31st at the Pan-African Center, brought to you by Soto Gallery and Echo Bank. Admission is free.
I said Nigerian, my rice must be premium. I want the stone-free rice. I don't want it gummy rice. That's why I choose Kiara. See, I see they swell Kiara. The aroma, they make me hungry. Oh yeah, give me some. From the east to the west, pretty ladies here. Eat 35 bar and protein. Oh yes, from the north to the south, African king rice can be found. Choose Kiara rice, we don't go let you down. Joy, 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 the taste of joy is here. Pretty lady, African king, very good. Proudly Nigeria and Bogu rice.
Experience the taste of joy with Kiara Rice Mills, makers of Pretty Lady, African King, Proudly Nigeria, Red Eagle, and Bogu Rice. Kiara Rice Mills, the taste of joy in every grain.
Hi, e dey tasty, creamy and nourishing. E get vitamins A, D, E, B1, B9, B12 and zinc. Na original Naija yogurt. Abeg, make una throw away salute for fine yogurt. Abeg, go Jollimento with the new fine yogurt drinking yogurt.
Fine yogurt, original Naija yogurt.
Hey, now what for this country? Everything just cash, even cash.
KC, I don't define you for shops this morning. Why you did this kind queue?
Jojo, now cash I want collect since morning.
Cash? Why?
I know one waiting happen for 1672 happen again. Today, I must collect correct naira note for hand.
KC, cash day everywhere for bank, ATM, POS agent, and if you want run and cashlessly, you fit use mobile app, internet banking, ATM, POS, USSD, QR code, and other options them.
Dudu, you sure?
I beg you, make we dey go. Your customers they shop they wait for you. See, the cash where you define for Sokoto, there for your Sokoto. You understand? Country people, money na money. Spend them, collect them, no hold them, no panic. Cash day everywhere. This message now from Bankers Committee.
Are you looking for the right path to live, work, or study abroad without losing your funds to unscrupulous travel agencies? Or are you looking for funds to finance your overseas plans? If yes, don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. Reserve your seats for the premium Jackpot seminar with Uzo Ododo Oba of Wazobia FM. Get valuable insights, travel loans, learn proven strategies, gain insider tips from industry leaders, one-on-one discussions with seasoned travel experts, and take the next step towards your traveling goals. Date, Saturday, 22nd of March, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please do be punctual. Venue, ITF Building, 5th floor, Funsha Williams Avenue, Ipari, Costain, Lagos. Access fee, 20,000 Naira. Admits one person, please. For seat reservations and further inquiries, please call us on 0802-383-1303 or 0802-377-0699. One more time. For seat reservation and further inquiries, please call us on 0802-383-1303 or 0802-377-0699. Hurry, secure your spot. Seats are filling up fast. This event is powered by Strong Voice Media and proudly supported by Wazobia FM, Cool FM, and Nigeria Info. Note, we know they give visa.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk. You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Mic check. Heads up, ladies and gentlemen. Fan Battle is back. Yes, it is for the 4th edition, and you do not want to miss it if you intend to be a spectator. If you don't intend to be a spectator, however, and you intend to be a participant, I have news for you. Go to the website at www. I was going to say one play. Actually, the website to go to is www.nigeriainfo.fm. Now, once you reach there, click on the banner that says Fan Battle 4. Now, what will happen is that you will be shown a mini form actually, and you fill out your details, and then you proceed to upload a video of you talking about a football topic of your choosing, obviously to powerful effect. You put all the passion you have for football into that 60-second video and upload it. Note that it should not go beyond 60 seconds though. We don't have that kind of bandwidth or not, so please 60 seconds and under. Now once you do that, upload it and then click on the button that says submit, and just like that, your battle would have begun, at least your registration to battle, that is. Now, Fan Battle 4 is brought to you by Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info in collaboration with Sports Salon. Fan Battle 4, let the battle begin.
That was an infomercial.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations. We're going jiggy jaga jiggy jaga jiggy all the way to Abuja, but we are changing the narratives because they're not going to keep regurgitating, behaving the same way. And we need to have the information to take our country back. We need to have the information, the mindset, the soul, the intelligence, the language to challenge them on these things. So, call me on 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. My previous caller before the break, he mentioned about how the same people who fought Abacha are behaving like Abacha now. Is that true? Hello, let's talk.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yes, my name is Timothy. I'm calling you from Banana Island.
Okay, go ahead, Timothy.
So, the problem of this country is just a common thing. Because radio stations turn our brain up and down. When this election happened for 2003, Jimmy and Sheriff, they say Turumbu is the man of game changer. He can do it. So why are we complaining?
Well, do you want me to answer the question?
He's doing it.
No, but do you want me? Okay, go ahead and I'll come back. Go ahead.
You understand? This also complain. Now, radio station even don't complain, and Nigerians are not complaining again. Now, radio station, they complain for us. Every blessed, they complain, write story everywhere. Now, radio station be our problem. For me, because we talk in we run politics in both mouths. It's just too sad. Every day we bring different topics. People will call and talk jargons. Yes, it's so annoying. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I actually disagree with him because I think there's the thing. Everybody always needs somebody to blame. Whatever Jimmy Disu and Sharif said on their show, you have to get to a place where you accept that several truths can exist, but then you now take an umbrella view. That is what we're doing today. You want to point the finger at Jimmy Diso and Sheriff? No. Well, that's only two fingers. Where's the rest of it pointing? Back at you, sir. Let's talk. Somebody's on Skype? Let's talk. Hello? 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 You need to turn your radio off, please.
Oh, okay. Let me just move away from it. Yeah. I'm sure you can hear me now.
I need you to hurry up. Yes, please. Hello?
Okay, hello. My name is Uche. I'm calling from
I can still hear you in the background. Uche, I can still hear it. Please. I know perhaps other people are listening, so you need to get away from it to another room or something.
Yeah, I'm completely away from it now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. My name is Uche, and I'm calling from the UK. Now, very quickly, you have put the entire scenario mildly. My opinion, it's not just mere domestic colonization, like you put it. Nigeria is a captured state.
Well, that is domestic colonization. That is domestic colonization. When the colonizers came, they captured Nigeria. So there's nothing mild about it. In actual fact, colonization is much, much worse. Is much more dangerous to a society.
No, it's not. No, I disagree with you. It's not, because
Go ahead,
when
tell
the
me.
British were here, they weren't this brutal.
Actually, they took slaves. Actually, they took slaves. They shipped slaves. They were.
difference between slave trade and
No,
colonialism.
it isn't.
I'm talking about where they were in Nigeria. Some of the things they did were not this brutal. What is going on in Nigeria now is that the country, the state called Nigeria has been captured by people. And there is nothing. Look, I hear people say, oh, 2027 has been concluded already. You and I already know that it has been concluded already. Let me ask you a question. Like Uncle Jimmy also asked. Jonathan lost an election, even though you may say in controversial circumstances, but he left office. Ireti, let me ask you, these people there now, if they lose elections, do you think they will leave that place? They won't. So Nigeria is a captured state. It's not about these things that we're saying. It goes beyond it. It goes beyond it. These people have captured the entire. Look at, tie the knots together. Look at what is happening at the National Assembly. Look at what is happening even in Rivers State. A president, victimizes a governor that has, quarrels with his godfather for the reasons that we all know. And yet nothing was said of that godfather to say, look, young man, you are the minister of this, you are the FCT minister or whatever. Can you just give this man some breathing space? No. You know why? Because they need each other for 2027. We have to understand what is going on. It's a captured state. Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon, Uche. Thank you for calling all the way from the UK. God bless you. Hello.
Hi, Cecilia.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Oboli. How are you?
Good afternoon, ma'am. How's your day?
I'm very well, very well. All good. Go ahead.
Cecilia.
The lines are ringing. I need to give you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
There was a caller that said he was pointing accusing fingers on Jimmy Disu and Sherry. So I beg to differ on that caller's opinion.
Okay.
See, Nigerians, we love this idea of passing the buck. We pass the buck at any time possible. And I don't think that's really nice. So if they tell you something, the onus lies on you to either accept or you disagree. Not only are we a captured state, but the entire nation as well or the other way be captured. Very soon now, most of these trolls, also known as hailers, will soon turn to wailers if they've not even started turn to wailers. Hence, this discussion today, not only is it timely, but it is essential to see again. The reason we allow the least or the worst of us to lead the best of us still bewilders me till date. If you ask me, are we living in bondage? Of course, yes, we are. Yet, you want the average Nigerian to keep quiet. See, we know the problems. We've identified the problems. But the social construct now is this. How do we get out of this mess we've all found ourselves in? This weapon we've all fashioned against ourselves. You see, okay? The radio station, the TV station, we should start pushing the narrative of a recall process. If your government doesn't work, if your president doesn't work, if the House of Senate does not work for you, if you cannot talk about revolution or something, what do we do about recalling the process? Because people have not tested these laws, but there are laws there. So how do we take ourselves out of this mess? Nigerians are docile. You yourself, what have you done? How have you eliminated your corner? How have you shed your light? Or bring out your candle, lantern, light, bulb to say, okay, this is how I'm pushing the narrative in my own little corner. So on the radio, on air, wherever we find ourselves, liberation is possible. But how do we begin to sanitize or sensitize the average Nigerian that we can start testing our recall process to see that this political juggernaut, this political tribunomics and everything can be okay. This is not democracy. This is no longer autocracy. This is dictatorship. This is capitocracy leading to militacy already. How can we start testing our law so that we can get out of this mess we've all put ourselves in? That should be the narrative on air right now. Thank you very much, Cecilia.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
God bless you too. Hello. Hello.
Hey, hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Is that Titi Lokbe?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Titi Lokbe.
I am.
I am the I am. Go ahead.
Nigerians are captured. Yes. But that's a good news if Nigerians are captured. But Nigeria cannot conquer. So that's just the
You mean Nigeria cannot be conquered?
Never. Not by any international slave trader or internal dynamics. But the truth is that this government is not going to get it easy.
I need you to speak up. You need to speak up, Titilope.
People should start disabusing their minds now, saying the matter is already forgone. It's not. Abacha did what, or even did not even do up to this. Bolonga did not do up to this. They never got their way. They can capture for a while, but you can never conquer the people of Nigeria. It's very clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sisi.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
You have Emmanuel on the line.
Oh, Emmanuel. How are you, my love?
I'm doing well.
Okay, go ahead.
Sisi.
Yes, sir.
Power is deceptive. Or rather, let me say, people in power have deception in them. The level of deception is what is different, you know. There is COVID. There is supposed to be social distances, fixed masks, you know. There really supposed to be parties, you know, but a man was attending or throwing party, you know, at 10 Downing Street. So it's not only in Nigeria. In some instances, some environments, the people have the capacity to resist, or they are aware enough, you know, to resist nonsensical behavior from the people in authority. In some instances, the people in authority try as much as possible to curb themselves, you know, so that they won't be washing their dirty linen in public, you know, to make the society, you know, have faith in them or have trust in them who are in power. Now, let me come back to Rivers State. There is deception from the camp of Similar Ifubara, and there is deception from the camp of Yesom Wike. What is the deception from the camp of Similar Ifubara? You went into an agreement. Ordinarily, you know that you won't be top 5 in a primary election if it was a free and fair contest among the politicians who were supposed to contest for governor. But a man came, bought form for all of you. Everybody who was supposed to contest for Senate in the civil senatorial zone, everybody, the House of Rep members, the State Assembly members, and then you accepted the form. Nobody knows the kind of agreement you went into, and then you get into power. What were you expecting? That is on the side of Similar Ifubara. On the side of Wike, power is transient. You've been a former governor. You are now a minister. You were a minister before. What else do you want? Let's be adult here. I've been in a political meeting of which they were the leaders, you know, we are telling the person who they were sending or who they were backing that we are going to share this thing 60, 40, 70, 30. You know, it came into argument, they resolved it at the end of the day. But you can't, that is as a leader. You want to send somebody to, but I'm just being realistic. That is
I need you to wrap up. All the lines are ringing.
And then you want to appoint all the commissioners, you want to appoint all the special advisors, even the ADC. Then you can as well go ahead, you know, and tell him to separate for his wife and give him another wife because you are trying to impose him on the people or send him into power. So on the president side, it's unfortunate, you know, that he's biased and history won't be kind to him. Babangida recently said Abacha was the one who influenced June 12 or whatever. In the next 20 years, somebody might write a book about Tinubu and say which is the one who influenced this state of emergency and so on. Let's do things, you know, that history will write good about us in future. That is all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Tunde. My name is Tunde. I'm calling from Itiwe.
Okay, go ahead, Tunde.
I don't have much to take. My take is this afternoon. I believe that in democracy, how can a democratic president declare a state of emergency inside democracy? So why are we blaming Niger and Mali and Burkina Faso? Nigeria is blaming them. Nigeria is a big for nothing. So how can you going to resolve the issue in Niger and Burkina Faso and Mali? Tell me, as a leader. So what is going on? When you have a phone finance, telling our president that what do? You still have military in democratic government in your country. What do you do to it? You going to say leader. We are just big for nothing. We are not serious. I don't think Nigeria is a serious nation.
Thank you very much.
We are not a good example for the people that is coming, or especially the country that is lower than us. And thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Interesting. Tunde makes an interesting point, which I would also now like us to include. So it is true that we have a democratically elected president. Forget whether you believe he won it by hook or by crook, right? That's not, don't call me about that. We do have a democratically elected president who has just 3 days ago handed over the state with a democratically elected governor. Forget whether how he got there. That is not the point right now. Remember I said, let's stay. Let's take a bird's eye view. Let's go pivot to the top. So this president, who was President Bola Tinubu, who was democratically elected to be our president, has literally just sacked a democratically elected governor of another state in a democracy and handed that democracy, that state, over to a sole administrator. That's what Tunde was trying to say. And yet, because you're all calling now and I'm loving it. Yet, this democratically elected President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also the head of ECOWAS, who actually threatened Niger, Burkina Faso, and the third country has gone out of my head right now. I understand that one is a coup, don't get me wrong. But effectively, what Tunde is trying to say is, you've just basically sanctioned, approved, authorized, effected a coup in Rivers. This is something that we should all think about. Let's talk. Hello. Hello.
Sisoge, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Right, this is Mr. Sars calling from Journalist Estate.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Times.
Right, you see, I've been listening attentively all along. Most times you bring issues, I feel sad of calling. That's why I don't like calling, because I've played a very vital role. I don't know, definitely you are aware of Ali Moscow. I was one of the main leaders in Uniben then. In this country, there was a made ticket of 20 naira, from 20 naira to 50.
Yeah.
20 kobo.
And the Minister of Education back then, wanted to raise the cost.
That's how it came about. This fuel subsidy and all that started from food subsidy.
Yes.
I get annoyed when I hear what I battled. My name then is known as compressor, while compressing the oppressors. That's my activism name, compressing the oppressors. Getting manager the moment students hit fork and knife, they start running helter-skelter, just because they point out that the chicken is not. We claim is a sick chicken that they are serving students. Look at how Nigeria has depreciated. I don't know. I don't like calling.
Thank you.
I get
thank you for contributing.
Up to Tempo newspaper, I was one of those who go underground fighting Abacha. I played my role. If you see my situation, I don't want to talk about it. But let me watch things. I hope there will be a savior we played our role. I think people like Danfo,
Yes,
when
sir.
he died,
I need you to wrap up, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, we went round his corpse because these are our motivators. So, Sisoge, keep up the good job.
Thank you very much.
Much I can say for now.
Thank you very much, sir. Hello.
Sisoge, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Uzoma calling from Ikotu.
Okay, go ahead, Uzoma. You have 2 minutes.
Sisoge, my heart is bleeding. You know why? These things that happened at River State, they're looking at it at periphery. This is complete queue. Because you cannot sack a democratical governor and hand over a state to a first man. To a first man. Did you see the entourage, the guns and everything that came to escort him? Did you see what is happening in this our country? So, what are we calling for now? What are we calling for now? Even if during the time that Jonathan declared a certain state emergency, he did not remove the democratically elected governor. The man was just there. But now, they have indirectly taken Nigeria again to the same army rule that you are coming out from small. We don't know where we are heading to. There is danger. God bless you, ma.
Thank you very much, ma. Hello. Hello.
God bless you, ma.
God bless you too. Go ahead. You have 1.5 minutes, quickly.
Madam Ireti, God will bless you for a good topic you always bring on this station.
And God will bless you too. What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
My name is Robert. Madam,
go ahead, Robert.
What President Tinubu declared in River State is not a state of emergency. People should not confuse themselves. It is a martial law. It is only they should go to Google or maybe AI and Google what is called martial law. It is only a martial law that removes a state of House of Assembly and a governor that is elected. So only martial law. According to the president, even the one Obasanjo did was not a state of emergency. It is only Jonathan that declared a state of emergency in those 4 states because he did not remove those state governors and the House of Assemblies. Right? Section 305 that the president cited did not empower him whatsoever to remove the state. Even the Supreme Court of Nigeria do not have that power. It is only the State House of Assembly that have the powers to remove an elected governor of a state.
Thank you. The line's about to cut us off. No, you're right. You're actually correct. It is martial law. It is absolutely martial law. We've got seconds. Seconds, sir. It's going to cut us off. It is wrong. Thank you. God bless you. We'll be right back after this.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this. Grab your
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.